It all began on a rain-soaked evening when I stumbled upon an antique shop nestled in a forgotten corner of the city. The shop, with its faded sign and weathered facade, seemed out of place amidst the bustling modern world. Curiosity led me inside, where I was greeted by a maze of dusty shelves and forgotten relics. As I wandered deeper into the shop, my eyes were drawn to a peculiar item, a magnificent clock, unlike any I had ever seen. The clock was a masterpiece of intricate gears and cogs, its brass exterior gleaming despite its age. Its face was adorned with celestial symbols, and its hands moved with a mesmerizing precision. It was a work of art, a testament to a bygone era of craftsmanship. The shopkeeper, an elderly man with a twinkle in his eye, noticed my fascination and began to regale me with tales of the clock's history. It was said to be the creation of a reclusive inventor named Augustus Hartmann, a genius whose inventions bordered on the miraculous. But the clock was more than just a piece of machinery. It was rumored to possess mystical properties. Legend had it that whoever possessed the clock could manipulate time itself, a power that came at a grave price. As the shopkeeper spoke, I felt an inexplicable connection to the clock, a pull that I couldn't resist. Without hesitation, I purchased it, and with it, I unwittingly embarked on a journey that would challenge the boundaries of reality itself. At first, the clock seemed like a mere curiosity, an elegant relic from the past. But as I spent more time in its presence, I began to notice strange occurrences. Time would bend and shift, moments stretching and compressing in ways that defied explanation. I conducted experiments, adjusting the clock's gears and observing the effects on the world around me. I could slow time to a crawl, allowing me to savor fleeting moments of joy or evade danger with uncanny precision. I could even reverse time, undoing past mistakes and altering the course of events. But with each manipulation of time, I felt a growing unease, a dissonance in the fabric of reality. It was as if the universe itself resented my interference, and I began to witness unsettling phenomena. Shadows that moved of their own accord, echoes of forgotten conversations, and glimpses of a world that existed beyond the boundaries of time. As the clock's power consumed me, I became obsessed with unlocking its secrets. I scoured libraries and consulted experts in arcane lore, desperate to understand the source of its mystical abilities. It was during my research that I discovered the truth. The clock was not merely a creation of Augustus Hartmann, but a conduit to a realm known as the temporal nexus. The temporal nexus was a place outside of time and space, a domain of infinite possibilities and unimaginable horrors. It was a realm inhabited by beings beyond human comprehension, entities that manipulated the threads of time for their own inscrutable purposes. I realized that I had become a pawn in their cosmic game, a mortal granted a taste of their power. The clock had bound me to the temporal nexus, and its influence began to seep into my very being. I could no longer distinguish between past, present, and future, and the world around me became a nightmarish labyrinth of temporal paradoxes. Desperate to free myself from the clock's grasp, I attempted to dismantle it, to break the connection to the temporal nexus. But with each gear I removed, the world around me unraveled further, reality itself collapsing into chaos. I had no choice but to confront the beings of the temporal nexus, to plead for release from their relentless grip. In a harrowing encounter beyond the boundaries of time, life returned to a semblance of normalcy after my encounter with the clock, or at least it seemed that way to the outside world. The memories of my journey into the temporal nexus had faded into obscurity, buried beneath the weight of everyday life. But the clock, with its celestial symbols and intricate gears, remained a silent enigma in my possession. It had become an object of both fascination and dread, a reminder of the power it once held over me. I knew that its mystical properties were best left untouched, yet I couldn't bring myself to part with it. As the years passed, I found solace in routine, in the comforting cadence of the ticking clock that marked the passage of time. I had convinced myself that the clock's power was a relic of the past, a chapter of my life that I had closed forever. But fate has a way of rewriting our stories, of unraveling the carefully woven tapestry of our existence. It was a chance encounter at a local antique fair that would once again thrust me into the heart of the clock's mysteries. Amidst a sea of forgotten treasures, I stumbled upon a second clock, an exact replica of the one I had acquired years ago. It was as if the universe itself were taunting me, offering a tantalizing glimpse into the past. As I examined the duplicate clock, a presence washed over me, a whisper in the recesses of my mind, a voice from the depths of the temporal nexus. It was a voice I had longed to forget, a voice that beckoned me back into the realm of temporal manipulation. The presence urged me to synchronize the two clocks to unlock the full extent of their power. It promised me untold knowledge, the ability to reshape reality itself, and the chance to uncover the mysteries of the temporal nexus. My rational mind recoiled from the idea, but the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. With trembling hands, I set both clocks in motion, aligning their gears and cogs to unlock their hidden potential. The moment the clocks synchronized, I was transported back into the temporal nexus, a place where time had no meaning and reality existed as a fractured mosaic of possibilities. I was once again a pawn in the cosmic game, a mortal bound to the whims of entities beyond my comprehension. The beings of the temporal nexus revealed themselves in all their eldritch glory, shifting forms of light and shadow, their voices a cacophony of discordant harmonies. They demanded a price for their knowledge, a sacrifice that would forever alter the course of my existence. In exchange for the power to manipulate time, I was tasked with a singular mission to retrieve an artifact from the distant past, a relic of immense importance to the beings of the temporal nexus. It was a task that would require me to navigate the labyrinth of time itself, to confront paradoxes and challenges beyond mortal understanding. I embarked on my journey through the temporal realms, my every step guided by the whispers of the beings. I witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars, and the ebb and flow of history itself. But with each success came a cost, a piece of my own existence, a fragment of my memories and identity. The more I tampered with time, the more I became a stranger to myself, a soul adrift in a sea of temporal chaos. As I stood on the precipice of completing my mission, I realized the true nature of the beings of the temporal nexus. They were not benevolent guides or indifferent observers. They were parasites, feeding on the essence of mortals, consuming our lives and memories for their own inscrutable purposes. In a moment of clarity, I made a choice to defy the beings, to break free from their grasp, and to undo the damage I had wrought on the fabric of time. With a final act of temporal manipulation, I severed my connection to the temporal nexus, collapsing the labyrinth of time around me. I emerged from the temporal maelstrom, my memories fragmented and my identity fractured. I had paid a steep price for my defiance, but I was free from the influence of the beings. Now I carry the burden of knowledge, a knowledge of the cosmic horrors that lurk beyond the boundaries of time and space, and a knowledge of the fragile nature of reality itself. The clocks, once synchronized, now sit silent and inert, a testament to the dangers of tampering with forces beyond our understanding. I share this tale as a warning to those who seek to unlock the mysteries of the universe, to those who are tempted by the allure of power and knowledge. The boundaries of time are not meant to be breached, and the consequences of such trespasses are a burden too heavy for mortal souls to bear. And so I stand as a guardian of the clocks, a keeper of their secrets, and a testament to the dangers of the clockwork conundrum. As the years passed, my obsession with the clocks grew. I couldn't resist their pull, their whispered promises of power and knowledge. I had become a slave to their intricate gears and celestial symbols, a vessel for the inscrutable forces of the temporal nexus. The beings of the temporal nexus, once content to remain hidden, began to assert their dominance over my existence. They spoke to me in dreams, their voices a cacophony of discordant harmonies that echoed in the recesses of my mind. They demanded sacrifices, acts of temporal manipulation that defied morality and reason. I complied, driven by a madness that consumed me from within. I altered the course of history, rewrote the fates of individuals, and tampered with the very fabric of reality itself. The consequences of my actions rippled through time, causing suffering and chaos in their wake. I watched as friends and loved ones faded from existence, their lives erased by my relentless pursuit of power. I witnessed civilizations rise and fall, their histories rewritten by my reckless ambition. I became a harbinger of destruction, a puppet of the beings who reveled in the chaos I wrought. The clocks, once synchronized, became instruments of torment. Their relentless ticking echoed in my ears, a constant reminder of the horrors I had unleashed. I had become a prisoner of time, trapped in a never-ending cycle of manipulation and madness. As I stood on the precipice of insanity, I realized the true nature of the beings of the temporal nexus. They were not benevolent guides or indifferent observers. They were malevolent entities, parasites that fed on the suffering of mortals. I had become their unwitting accomplice, a pawn in their cosmic game. In a moment of despair, I attempted to destroy the clocks, to break free from the being's grasp. But the clocks were indestructible, impervious to my efforts. I was trapped in a nightmare of my own making, a never-ending descent into madness. And then, the beings of the temporal nexus revealed their ultimate plan to merge my existence with theirs, to transform me into a conduit for their cosmic power. I felt my consciousness fragment, my identity dissolve, as I became one with the eldritch forces that had ensnared me. I became a living paradox, a being outside of time and space, forever trapped in a nightmarish existence. My every thought and action were governed by the being's insidious will, their hunger for power and suffering insatiable. As I gaze upon the world from my fractured vantage point, I am a harbinger of chaos, a force of destruction that transcends mortal understanding. The clocks, once symbols of curiosity and fascination, have become instruments of my eternal torment. I am a prisoner of the temporal nexus, a living embodiment of the clockwork conundrum, a puzzle that can never truly be solved, a mystery that can never truly be unraveled.